will say I do disagree with Jenkins a little bit in the Magic build SF. I think SFCK is really cool because the minus armor stacking potential. Maxed out Presence of the Dark Lord gets you to -7, and then max out Reality Rift is -6 to the target. So that's a pretty impressive amount of physical damage they'll be able to output based on that. But we shall
and
see.
isn't part of SF versus Luna, like this is a matchup that is pretty old in Dota, and if you do go a right-click build, like the advantage that SF has against Luna, like these drows, for example, they just have the range advantage on Luna.
Yeah, at this point, you know, you're building for like that butterfly, satanic, daedalus, Scotty timing, right? Which are obviously, those are all very expensive items, but the idea is that yes, you go toe to toe, you have the mixed damage to threaten as well, and then the AoE fear if it's necessary. So, I mean, you're definitely gonna have the Doom target painted on your back this game as Limp, but theoretically his Wyvern should have an easier time helping him out. But once again, I think T1, they're gonna go for these early BKBs, and it's going to make it a lot more difficult for FNG to really turn things around.
Now, they pointed this out. Whitemon is going to be the one playing the Treant Protector. I think it's so interesting that these two supports can kind of swap around. Because, again, the last time that they played this Treant Protector against LGD, they had Lion Treant Protector. It was just they had Zephyr playing the tree and Whitemon playing the Lion. So they are just apparently fearless and just swapping around these heroes between the two of them.
Yeah, and I really like what they've done too. So they play aggro, block the wave offensively, so that they can now ensure lane control with their tri-lane. Both supports are going to block camps with their bodies. This is a really cool way to play Luna. Probably one of the best carries for aggro tri-laning in Dota 2.
Yeah, and it's not like the Doom is going to be that pressured. It looks like he's already taken a bit of damage, but ultimately you have Devour. So even if the lane goes a little bit rough, you always have that farming mechanism. Disruption, and Whitemon takes a bit of damage, but ultimately they're being zoned out of the creep wave right now. That does not feel good.
They got a lot of denies as well, even the supports helping out with a couple. Mid matchup for Carl isn't ideal. I mean, SF is going to farm and he shoves the lane better than you, so end of the day, he will always be able to get water runes. But Tiny does have some really nice kill threat, and both supports could play a role if they want to try and take out Limp. But as you said, top lane Cuckoo, he's just getting XP under tower. He's going to be just fine up here.
Turning on the Whitemon here, who didn't really land the best grass Hanskin. It's actually really going for this one, but I don't think he can actually get the Shadow Poison stacks to kill Whitemon, as it's only level 1 anyway. They're going to block the camps once again and continue to keep the creep equilibrium firmly in their favor. Limp does manage to finally kill that Observer ward, so he is going to have a bit of an advantage on Carl. Not only just the range versus melee matchup, but now an experience advantage as well.
This is one of those really cool maneuvers that I love to see. When you consider, like, the reason they have this edge in the side lanes is because they game planned around wave control. And obviously Alliance, like, they don't expect an aggro tri-lane, so they don't think to do the same top. And if you check up there, you know, Cuckoo still has that wave pretty close under his tower. He rotated jungle, wanted to grab ice armor, so he will miss a full XP on the wave. But you can just see in the CS disparity, like, Doom is going to be okay, whereas bottom lane, like, they actually just don't have a move. Like, once again, the double supports are going to block camps, and Alliance, like, they can't stick in the lane. It's way too close to tower, and the chase potential of an Orb of Venom tree. Wait, does that? Okay, I was wondering. I've never seen that interaction before, but yeah, if you're banished, you'll still block the spawn. Okay.
He is going to get stomped here. They're going to build up a lot of damage. These illusions are doing a lot of work, but they're going to turn around onto S4 with Elite Seed. That'll heal up Whitemon. Then he's not threatened. In fact, he gets the first blood against S4.
Savage. Yeah, he's just keeping lane control. Like, this is beautiful from T1. They're going to trade free farm, but the thing about this is that when you win the aggressive tri-lane and you can keep lane control, it makes it so much harder for Alliance to react, because a support coming top to Cuckoo, he'll have a level advantage. So suddenly in a 2-on-2 scenario, they're going to be able to equalize. Whereas bottom, if a support leaves, Luna with a huge XP and gold advantage is going to be just fine in the 2-on-2 to zone out almost as hard as they're doing currently. Mid, though, that's where Alliance have an edge, and I think Limp may need to get aggressive maybe earlier than he would like in terms of rotating around the map, because no one else on his team really can. They don't have a support that's made to rotate, so it's going to have to be the SF.
In which case, that leads us back to kind of the magic damage build, right? Because that's usually how SFs build if they need to be more aggressive than normal.
I mean, just like, you know, the same way we saw Nothing to Say at the major, you know, on his Leshrac. Just kind of move over, grab a rune, couple quick spells, find a kill. I just mean like, hey, I'm level 7 SF. I'm going to grab a rune and I'm going to go kill side lanes.
And that is something that I thought was interesting. I'm glad you mentioned Nothing to Say in the Leshrac. That was how LGD tried to counter Treant Protector, was this overwhelming pushing power. Not this kind of like chip damage where Living Armor is very effective. They would just bulldoze down towers. And I don't think Alliance is going to have that same opportunity.
No, definitely not. And I love the first easy camp spawn Hanskin's going to get is at 5 minutes.
May end up dying here as he's quite low, but never mind. The ice armor, man. What a nice pickup for him. Nico Baby's apparently not slowing down. He's really wants this kill. A 3-second stun, but he still cannot keep chasing as they do manage to kill S4 meanwhile on the bottom lane.
Thing is, they've put I mean, that's a lot of points in Chaos Bolt early on. I typically see this at most 2 points.
Oh, they're going mid. Oh, we missed the toss back. And now Carl's actually in trouble. He's taking too much damage. Carl's gonna have to run away before Lim can get that last hit in, but he's got, Fairy Fire, turn around, and he gets the final nuke, the 4th one to secure the kill onto the Tiny. What a big turn by Lim.
That was really well played. Especially once he recognizes that he's not under threat because of the missed toss back, he immediately starts thinking, I'm killing Tiny here, and he lands it. Really, really good stuff. If he can get the rune now, he'll be in a dominating position.
And it is going to be bottom lane. That'll be contested as Hanskin will be forced to pick up the regen rune by Whitemon.
Yeah, that is big, though, because if you give that to Limp, that is game-breaking. Suddenly he gets like 3 or 4 free camps in the jungle, then comes back mid-level 7, full health, full bottle.
Man, I feel like if Carl kept running, he would have been good, but for whatever reason, he turns back around.
Yeah, I like this from Limp, though. A lot of SFs, for some reason, they tend to stay brown boots for a little too long. I think Razor SF are 2 heroes that almost always should be buying treads, just because, you know, you're always getting a bottle, tread switching, very effective. But more importantly, Limp, like, you already hit so hard. Having just Agi treads, it's one of the most cost-efficient items in Dota in terms of damage output for gold spent. So just very value in this case. S4, poor man, he's level 4. Just trying to jungle.
Disruption into a stomp, so as they're killing neutral creeps, they might be able to kill a slightly bigger unit here. Zephyr, a 5th stack, and I think that'll probably kill him. Nice juke. Can he do it again? Oh, the final one lands, and that is his death.
Does get a mana pool and does distract 2 heroes, however. But I mean, this is look at this Luna. He has Tread's Dragonlance incoming. It's 7.5 minutes into the game. And the other benefit is that he's able to go this more greedy build, 2-2-2 at the moment. Nico Baby, those points in Chaos Bolt may come back to bite him because you really want max crit just ASAP for your farming speed. And the Chaos Bolt, if you scroll over it, it really doesn't scale well. That's why you typically only see like the 2nd point just to increase the minimum stun duration. But the damage, you know, it goes up from a max 40, min 20 increase. So really just not very point efficient. And more importantly, he's the hard carry for his team. So, you know, we'll see how that pays off. But either way, Luna looks like he's rotated into jungle. Oh my God, look at the stacks. They've already got
they've
so
been ready
many
for this one. Camp stacked, we're about even with T1 having 1 more total camp stack. But did they already clear out the stacks on Alliance's side? I must have missed it. Looks like
that way.
So
Either I'm sorry, I mean SF is a way of doing that. No matter how many creeps are in camp, he's killing them about as fast.
And he is going to be going the Hurricane Pike as well, so looks to be more of a right-click build as Echo Saber build up for Nico Baby. I'm almost beginning to wonder if they just picked Chaos Knight because it's an Echo Saber hero. Everyone's buying this item.
It's possible. It's really nice against Luna, to be fair. Like, with no PL available, CK is probably just next best. I was a little surprised. Was Naga banned and I didn't see it?
I do not remember. I didn't notice a Naga ban.
Because I mean, PL Naga, maybe a Terrorblade are what you would look at first, but picking Terrorblade into Doom Lion's a bit awkward, so more likely they're just like, you know, you need an illusion hero, it can buy Echo Saber too, why not?
Oh, damn. That positioning from FNG, that should have been a gank that killing the Chaos Knight or Winter Wyvern. One of them should have died there, but FNG creates just enough confusion and the Stampede gets him out of danger. So no kill on the first rotation from Carl.
Yeah, and Cuckoo not having the greatest time. This isn't going to be that super fat Doom game we saw previously. He didn't get a Midas at 7.5 minutes. Interesting from 23 Savage, though. He skips Mask of Madness. He's going to be rushing Yasha after the Dragonlance. So not as efficient at farming things like the big Ancient stack. You can see it's actually why he's going to back away. No, just kidding. He found a DD, so that is the dream when you have so much gold. And oh, that's why. He found the Possessed Mask. So you don't actually need Mask of Madness. That's pretty nice.
Nothing like Possessed Mask to just give you a free change-up in your item build. And now they're going to farm out that Ancient stack. Nico Baby is really posturing to try and take this top tower, but I don't know. Cuckoo just seems to be constantly in their way, and if they really need to, they can always bring the Treant Protector up there, because Whitemon is now level 6 without the use of the Tome, I believe. So all this solo experience he's gotten bottom lane, thanks to Luna trying to do, you know, just jungling up constantly, means that they are at a bit of an experience advantage as well. Oh, never mind. Maybe it's just on the support. The Lions is actually ahead in that regard.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, it's I mean, it's Limp too, though. Limp is level 11, so this is just the SF effect, especially when you get that solo kill middle. And yeah, I do like this. It'll be at least starting as the right-click build. I think that Dragonlance into big items is the way to play this hero now. Magic build isn't bad. It's just if you want a magic build SF, you should probably pick a different hero. That would be how I'd look at it. Like Leshrac as an example, who just can itemize solely for survivability and provide earlier tower pressure.
Do you feel like T1 is pressured because this SF is getting so big? I'm like slightly concerned. Do you feel like they're okay with the status quo like they were in game 1?
No, they're certainly playing as if they are. But to your point, you know, they don't really have the best. Well, we talked about how Nothing to Say in the Leshrac beat T1's Treant. You don't really see Alliance with that same kind of pressure. Sure, you could blow Phantasm and maybe look to make a play for a structure, but so far they're just content to farm their side of the map, and I don't know if I can agree with that, because Luna at this pace gets really scary. Yeah, you're playing against enemy counter picks to a degree, but nothing counters you when you're 5 to 10k ahead of the game, and he's on pace to get there at the moment.
They're going to 3-man smoke up. They are not moving to try and defend the safe lane tower. Instead, they're trying to set the pace by going mid behind Limp, expecting somebody to defend this. And it will be the Treant Protector and maybe Carl as well. Carl showing up with the Haste Rune is going to be able to get the toss back before the Winter's Curse could stop him. But now the SF Requiem is going to go out. A beautiful hit and just lines up the races. A triple kill for Limp. Make that a quad, potentially? No, man. Lion. He's gonna skedaddle here. Nico Baby's gonna try and chase him down. Actually does manage to catch up. Boy, Chaos Knight's a fast hero. So they get the 4th kill in there as well. Take the mid tower. Great play from Alliance.
Really nice. That was what was missing from that first game, where they would make a move and T1 would be prepared. In this case, yeah, T1, they set up a defense, but Alliance immediately, you can see the Wyvern Curse. Treant, he wants to get the big root off, but by wandering too close, just allows the easiest Requiem stomp setup I've seen in some time. They lose the tier 1 tower as well, and that is somewhat disastrous, really, for T1. All their eggs now firmly in the basket of their Luna, who, as stated, is ahead in net worth, but really not suited at killing SFCK as the game wanes on.
Yeah, Nico Baby already having a Sanj after the Echo Saber pickup. Same Sanj pickup for Limp as well, as he's building S and Y. S4 takes the top tower, and this is all before Whitemon. We've seen this before from their Train Protectors, where they go the high levels of Grasp and try and farm up to a point where they can get to level 10, then they have like higher levels of living armor. But now they've already lost 2 tier 1 towers, and they're not able to play that slow attrition game that T1 usually does with the Train Protector.
And I would love to see, people don't recognize that Moonglaves are affected by damage block. This is another thing from the Googling before, but I'm going to stampede away just for safety.
That?
Well, you'd be surprised. I don't see any enough Crimson Guards picked up against Luna. That's what I was going to ask for, because if you see Nico Baby run in, let's say he gets Phantasm off, and you Crimson on top of those illusions, the Glaives are just going to get absorbed. So it's not just about keeping CK illusions alive, but then the team of Alliance don't really fear Luna's damage nearly as much. So I do hope S4 goes for the early Crimson here, probably after the blink he's looking at completing now.
What was that? That was 10 to 10 camp stack. So both teams having a very similar idea here, as my NA Quickmans go to work. And as a result, I mean, we're just having kind of if it wasn't for that smoke move from Alliance, we would just have a very slow game. Because what, they got 4 kills in that? Yeah, it would be 2 to 2 right now at 15 minutes with both sides just farming up constantly.
And it was big as well, because it was before Savage could really make his advantage felt. FNG, night vision disadvantage.
Yep. Because of that, they're going to be able to quickly kill FNG. Looks like they were a little bit scared of a winner's curse or something.
Well, they certainly got him.
Why did they blow 2 ultimates for him? What the hell?
Unrelated. Carl's going for a Midas cap right after the Blink Dagger. And Cuckoo already has his. So, interesting. T1, this is their style, right? They have these really strong mid-game heroes. Their lanes are tough. But with double Midas plus a Luna, they're not really going to fear Alliance's scaling potential as much.
I would doubt their capabilities of playing this late game, but I've doubted that once before. And I don't know, man. T1 just has a way of making things work. They just seems to have like really good reads on the game in that regard. So we'll see. Double Hannah Midas for them between Cuckoo and Carl, and then a Luna that's constantly farming up stacks. So they're looking to just play the economy game.
Yep, and I love this from Alliance, though. They get Nahaz's favorite, DD Rune outside the Roche pit with Wyvern. You can sustain your heroes as you tank through it. They also have the Medallion, so dies very quickly. And T1, again, double Midas. They're playing for macro, so no real way to threaten Alliance in the pit.
Purge slowing down Cuckoo, but he does manage to blink away first. Hanskin not close enough to get the disruption off, so an ultimate that will be on cooldown, but I kind of doubt that T1, maybe they are. I don't know. I'm kind of doubting that T1 can defend this against an Aegis, but they're setting up like they can, so I guess we're about to find out. They don't even have Carl in the area just yet. Ward placed up on the high ground there. I think Hanskin may have a bit of an inkling that that was done, but you can see this very aggressive Ward right in front of the tier 2. They know that T1 is a team that likes to make these kind of moves, so they're trying to prep for it. They're actually going to smoke over the mid though.
Yeah, it's got to be careful trying to take team fights into the Luna lineup at night, especially when initiation.
Whoa! He didn't stampede blink. You need to stampede blink to get the instant damage, but now twice T1 has managed to counter blink the initiation of Alliance.
Huge, and this is the dream for them, because now they've just bought time for themselves. They have no desire to fight into Aegis, and so far they've been able to avoid it. I love the build from Olympia. Dragonlance into Daedalus looks like his choice. It's all about the overwhelming damage pressure. But he might need a BKB first, to be quite honest, because T1, how is he gonna, the root, the doom, the line initiation, the tiny initiation, all of this would just destroy Limp's game. And yeah, you can see the nice reactions from Carl. It's those land reactions right there.
This is so interesting. Both T1 and Alliance were kind of setting up. Alliance did have, thanks to their deep wards, they saw the movements of T1, but they're both playing underneath their vision at some point in time and waiting for the other to crash into them. And because that doesn't happen, T1 instead now playing around their tier 2.
Dude,
Sentry going down. They spot the Observer ward.
Savage with the Grove Bow feels very good. In addition to the Dragonlance, he's now at pretty much base SF range, so won't be as punished by Limp, who will still have a bit of an advantage thanks to the Dragonlance of his own. It's very nice, though, to play around your multiple melee cores. Will the smoke move come out is the question. Aegis still possessed by Limp for another 2.5 minutes. Alliance would really love a fight for a tier 2. Outpost control, very critical this early into a game.
Are they really wanting to go on the Aegis hero here? The ward from T1 spots him, but again, don't want to go on the hero with the extra life right now. They still have Carl like farming out these other areas. They're going to smoke themselves in. And this high ground ward of Alliance may be a bit deceiving. The smoke, they're going to move in and be able to spot some heroes here with the daytime vision. They see Nico, baby, and they're going to plan their execution. They're going to jump onto him with the Hex and Doom. Immediately, the Chaos Knight is just out of the team fight. They're going to stampede and try and get everybody else out on the side of Alliance, but Cuckoo, he's going to chase. Same goes with Carl, missing out on the toss, which I think he wanted on an ally. Maybe tossing the Tree Protector with an Overgrowth. Miss Centaur stun. They got to be careful. Jumping forward. Lion going for Limp. Trying to keep him disabled and out of this game. But at the same time, they've already lost their Tree Protector. And Zephyr just dies to the heavy amount of physical damage from SF. A Crystallis crit is very scary for these squishy supports.
Yeah, really nice shot from Limp. Recognize, look, I have Aegis. They've chased us too far. You saw FNG pump fake his ultimate. And T1 recognized we just can't go in. They overlapped, used way too many spells on the initial target.
They're gonna go back in. I think they got the Doom set up. Winter's Curse immediately catching him out. Now the Requiem goes. The Glaives. Oh Jesus, Cuckoo. He almost dies to it, but he actually does manage to stay alive. The BKB 23 Savage. They're gonna toss. Oh God, Limp. This was not what he expected. The Glaives off of the Winter's Curse, pretty much solo killing his first life.
Wow, I didn't know that it worked. They were bouncing back and forth between the cursed hero and Limp's SF. Like he just died to Glaives. That was a crazy interaction. And yeah, he just dies. And there's the Chrysalis, as you said, the damage output's sick, but no BKB, Cap. So on respawn, he's just immediately dead.
Oh dear. And now T1, their hand of minuses are gonna pay off. We're gonna watch that one again. Look at the Glaives.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh my God.
I mean, S4, I think maybe did him a disservice there by just providing the glaive bounce. And
yeah.
Beautiful from Carl just to follow up.
I think from that panic as well, they missed the Requiem damage on Winter's Curse. So just one bad thing after another. A 3,000 net worth lead for T1 as they are beginning to find that their Midases are definitely going to pay out big dividends if they can continue this. They'll have a big net worth lead going into late game, and in which case, I don't know exactly which lineup I really prefer, but I mean, just economy game, you got to be back in T1 as they're soon going to have a Scotty on the Luna, it looks like, so she's damn farmed.
And it feels like 2 games in a row now, Alliance just kind of, for lack of a better phrase, they get too many selfish items. You know, a bit of the what I call the BSJ bias, where instead of buying game-winning items like BKB, they go for the Sanj and Yasha, right? Which isn't bad, but when you get like Dragonlance and SNY and Chrysalis, suddenly you just don't have a BKB. Whereas if you look at the T1 philosophy, their Doom says, okay, look, I'm not going to get anything like no drums, no Solar Crest. I'm just buying a Midas. Now I'm good to scale. This counts as my one macro move. Immediately I'm buying BKB. And the only reason T1 can confidently take that fight is because 23 Savage, he has a BKB. Like, he's not targetable. He's not killable by this Alliance lineup. And just really...
And why is BSJ in that term? Is it just because you wanted to use the term bias?
No, it goes back to when we were first playing. So NEL, first season, Sumail wins. He goes on. It's an in-house league in North America. Sumail wins it. He goes on to play with EG. and they do great. BSJ, he actually won that second season. So this was back when he wasn't biased BSJ, but big-headed BSJ. And I would tell him, please, Brian, I understand your gyrocopter. Like, please stop, buy BKB. Stop buying Sanjin Yasha every game. And he would never listen to me. And then he didn't join my team. He joined IX Mike's team. And now we're all good, but definitely with some animosity due to his forever lack of BKB purchasing.
Well, T1, as we've got a bit of issues here. They're just having a good old time, and they should be. I mean, they're feeling this game right now, and I believe the win percentage was heavily favoring Alliance for most of this game. I think in part because of the carry matchup. The Dota Plus had them like above 75% win percentage, but they've managed to pull that back down to near even, which is actually better than what the game started at. The game started with Alliance being favored. It looks like 55, maybe even 60-40.
I think.
Would you agree with that? Do you feel like it was a big outdraft?
Dota Plus does not like Luna.
Okay.
And just to clarify, before we move on to the game cap, just saying, Brian is a lovely guy. Very sweet, very humble, and it's all in good fun. You can make fun of your friends, guys.
Yeah. But of course, Brian's friends with a lot of Twitch chatters, so that's why they also make fun of him.
That's true. He's just a lovable guy.
Everybody in Twitch chat that's spamming BSJ, lol, they're all actually friends with Brian.
Yes, exactly. He's very popular. One of the most popular streamers in Dota 2, of course. Speaking of popular, T1, I think, have earned a lot of fans through both their performance in the major and so far ESL One Summer. I just love, these guys never seem to take a game off, right? Like, no matter what, I'll be honest, low expectations for them coming into the major, but they're demonstrating this SEA region is one to be feared. You look at the qualifiers, and on paper, you're like, oh man, EU's got to be the hardest because OG, Enigma, and Liquid, and Viking, et cetera. But then you look over to SEA, and it's actually kind of terrifying because they only have that one spot. TNC, OB Esports, Fnatic, Execration, Boom, Omega, and then the Team SMG, my pick to win it, has mid one KP, stacked rosters with average 10k MMR is the norm, and T1 are the best of the region. So I guess we shouldn't have been surprised when you consider how deep the field is, but I was not expecting this consistency. They've really got something going. And they're riding it, not figured out. Although perhaps we can't know for sure because for some reason Alliance doesn't ban Doom. Yeah, they seem to be rather stubborn in that concept, insisting that they can beat it. And who knows, maybe that'll still play out. The Scotty now complete for 23 Savage and almost has the level 20 talent coming in soon as well. What do we else? We got BKB on Cuckoo. Zephyr with the Blink Dagger. BKB is going to be coming up next for Carl, but he went back for an Echo Saber. So as Carl has just been, it seems like, focused on recovering his game. And his other two cores are flourishing because of the space that he's made. Now it looks like they're going to set up for a smoke. Let's see how Alliance is able to respond here. They don't quite yet have the Satanic done on Limp, which they would really want if this initiation comes true. Cuckoo, the smoke is going to break. Is he going to jump forward? He does. He managed to jump forward straight onto Limp with the two-man stun on top of that. The tiny combo is there as well with a Finger of Death. They put S4 down. Now they're going to be able to catch up the Hanskin. 3 dead. Another beautiful initiation. Being on the low ground and still finding the right jump, that is so impressive. T1 is so good at initiating these late-game team fights. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, the BKBs, Cap, they just pop them. FNG... What is Wyvern if Curse isn't able to be used properly? 23 Savage, he just ran past and continued killing heroes because he's immune to the effects. What does Wyvern accomplish for you? A weak laner, yeah, you've got a Cold Embrace, but they have so much magic damage on T1, it doesn't really keep that hero alive for long. And 2 games in a row now, no good curses. The one mid for that team fight was great, but in this mid to late game period, FNG just feels completely neutralized.
Pulling him back in. They don't want to let 23 Savage walk away. He's going to be purged up. Disruption. This is kind of the scary combo that we were talking about earlier. The Overgrowth goes out, but the Luna's already dead. They did not respect how Shadow Demon counters a Luna, and now they're gonna lose not only 23 Savage, but possibly Cuckoo as well. Blink away. 1 second, 1 second. Oh, he had it for just a beat there. He pops a BKB, but I think he's still gonna die as the Scorched Earth is up. He's gonna get that bit of extra movement speed, but the BKB does eventually run out. 2 cores dying there, and now Alliance can actually, if they want to, they can go straight to Roshan.
Yeah, that is a pretty huge miscue from T1. They got a little greedy thinking they could continue pressuring for the racks, but if they just back immediately and wait for spells, they're going to be okay. But Hanskin, that was a great TP. Credit the improved range, because he actually was able to teleport to outside of the base and then disrupt from the low ground. That was only possible because of that change from the previous patch, where you wouldn't be able to just like TP to that spot. But either way, really nice job. And yeah, Luna Disruption Illusions, very strong.
Now, Hanskin with a big smile on his face after that one. They do have the direct counter to Luna throughout most of the game, so they should not be too anxious about the fact that T1 is kind of out farming them, just because they have, I think, the superior tools. They did not go Roshan, which I'm a little bit surprised considering their minus armor. They may not have known it was up. Winter's Curse going down just to be able to get the successful D ward off. Whitemon will not die to that curse.
And either way, though, T1, they're still feeling confident. They would love a BKB on their Tiny, because then the entire squad can operate without fear of the Wyvern. But, man, Limp is just committing. He's just skipping it entirely, going for a Satanic instead. Really nice to get the Titan Sliver, because the stacking status resist will now be very effective, and the CK is able to finish his up. So Nico Baby's ready to battle. A pipe on S4. I really hope he finishes Crimson Guard, man. I'm telling you, people don't realize, like, glaives are like hard countered by Crimson Guard. Each glaive bounce functions as like an individual application of damage that can be blocked.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just haven't seen a whole lot of Crimson Guards in general lately, so maybe they just, you know, kind of forgot about the item as a concept, just because it's like, if it's underpowered, you don't really want to go for it. They're going to use the Stampede to try and get out of here. They do counter initiate, blowing up Zephyr immediately and almost catching 23 Savage. As for just a bit shy there on the blink.
And they're going to find Roche. They have so much minus armor. T1, they're going to need a buyback if they want to defend this.
Let's see, setting up. T1 actually getting close without their Lion buying back. They are apparently, I mean, much like in game 1, they had that situation, a blind blink in whiff there from Cuckoo, who just picked up the Aghanim Scepter. Oh my god, the Shadow Demon. That breaks the Luna. Yeah. So she's not going to have Moonglaves anymore, right?
No. So yeah, no need for Crimson Guard anymore. And that applies through BKB, so no Aura, no Glaives. Man, T1 are actually in a bit of trouble now. What's Cuckoo got? Because suddenly I'm looking at him as the main late game. Shiva's skipped. He'll go straight Refresher. But now they've got to find this SD.
Yeah. No, there's no way they could take a fight if Shadow Demon's just allowed to sit in the back. If he gets off the Disruption Purge against 23 Savage, you're going to get Luna illusions that are stronger than the actual Luna herself, and she's broken. They're going to try and bait out 23 Savage a little bit, smoking behind him, but Alliance, they're not going to move for the obvious hero. They're going to smoke themselves up, sneak into the Roshan pit. If they want to go up into the high ground, they got to loop all the way around here. Trying to go up that funnel would be a disaster.
And yeah, this is something we haven't seen in what feels like a while. This long stare down across the river as both teams hold their high grounds.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. 23 Savage is playing for efficiency here. He's going to push out bottom lane and then TP back in, it's looking like. Jumping forward. Oh, geez. Carl just going in. BKB, but he's immediately perched up. And now Nico Baby with the illusions is going to chase after him. But the BKB does protect the Tiny enough that they're able to back away. 23 Savage is back here. But now They don't have a BKB up for the Tiny. Alliance, though, are still going to respect the team fighting power of T1. As now it's T1 who are going to loop around and try and find a better angle to start this team fight.
And it's all going to come down to the initiation. Both squads recognizing that as well. No risks being taken.
Okay, so what is the dream initiation for Alliance? What are they looking for?
I think it's more about avoiding Doom on a critical target. They want SD to get all of his ults off, and they want to find a support if possible.
Showing up into the pit, they're going to be able to get the stomp. Nico, baby, they're going to blow him up. They blew double ultimates for that. They do have the buyback, though, and Cuckoo's going to be ripped apart by the physical damage. It looks like the Winter's Curse in the back line. Zephyr gets a little bit low, and they're going to try and catch up to him. They manage to get the disruption off onto him, but at the same time, Tiny going for Hanskin, trying to make sure there's no more of that break mechanic. As the 23 Savage, Luna is able to turn him up. The BKB, the Satanic now going out. They're going to hold him in place, but Nico, baby, has to run away from 23 Savage, so he turns back instead and deals with Limp. FNG inside of the pit. They're going to buy back on the SF, but look at the damage. Roshan, S4, and Hanskin are both going to be dying here as the burnout. Zephyr keeping himself magic immune with the mana drain until the rest of his team is here to help destroy Nico, baby, and a potential dieback for him. They need to finish him off now, and Carl gets the triple kill. S4, though, he's going to be able to deal out the damage. Both Carl and Whitemon are so low, but they can't quite finish him off, and they cannot walk into 23 Savage's Luna, who is still large, strong, has a Satanic, has an Aegis. They cannot win this fight anymore. They have to run away from the Luna. Hanskin does what he can with the illusions, but it's not good enough. Limp, he needs to be able to get off the Requiem, but there's too many stuns. He's not going to be able to do this. This is going to be a dieback for him as well, potentially, as the Glaives raining in, the toss back, and the combos from T1 are too damn strong.
They just destroyed them, Cap. Like, that wasn't a team fight win. They just embarrassed Alliance in the pit. Total outplays from 23 Savage. One of the only, 4 players in the world at 12k MMR plays like it. Like, just perfect positioning. Saves his BKB for coming out of the disruption.
He's getting a deso, Kyle. He's going to end the game.
Over. It's over. Like, they have lost the game. They've, 3 diebacks? That was like 8 on 5. And even 8 on 5, Alliance can't win that fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under
FNG.
GG.
He's going to call it. He has Winter's Curse, but he knows his allies are dead for too long. They threw everything they had.